So let's actually start out just sitting tall, cross-legged seat, Sukhasana. If you want, you can also sit on a blanket or a pillow. Just kind of helps release some of the tension in the hips, because sometimes people sit like this, you know. So if you have that extra height underneath you, it lets the knees relax, the hips relax. And then you have two choices here with the hands. Hands could be face down if you feel like you need a little grounding, a little rooting down, connecting, or if you feel like receiving today and being more open and receptive, we can just flip the palms. Go this way. So today I'm learning a lot, and I'm in relatively unknown territory, so I'm going to flip my palm up and receive whatever lessons are coming my way. Tall, tall spine, stack every vertebrae one on top of another, and add just a slight tuck of the chin, right? Just because if you think about the vertebrae in the neck, you want it to be stacked instead of that like curved up position. So a slight tuck, crown of the head rising. Close the eyes, let them be soft, let the jaws relax, but keep the mouth, the lips closed. Teeth apart, mouth closed. Good. From here, just begin focusing on the breath. We're not manipulating anything yet. And just notice first the inhales and exhales coming out of the nasal passageway. It feels different, right? When you pay attention, it's something that we've become so numb to, kind of like the clothing on our skin after the whole day. So just focus on that and approach it with some open curiosity, some kindness. Maybe noticing that the air coming in the nasal passageway is a little different than the air coming out. The temperature, the texture. And then draw attention now down to the throat, feeling the air slide up and down. And then from here, I want to start Ujjayi breath. It's ocean breath. And if you've gone to a lot of vinyasa yoga classes where they combine breath with movement, it might come up a lot. So with this, you can strip the back of the throat. So let's start out like you're fogging a mirror, or you're trying to see your breath in the cold, which maybe some friends in California don't know what that means. But you go, but now close the lips. Do you hear that? Let me just come up to you real quick. So you've got that ocean sound. Keep the spine tall, keep the belly firm, ribs together. So what this does, we have that ocean breath, keep going. It's allowing us to have not just the breath to focus on. It's so obscure, abstract, like, okay, focus on the breath. What does that mean? You have a couple options now. Anytime I say focus on the breath, and even in your daily life, if you're stressed and you just need something else to focus on, we have many, many stimuli here now, right? So when we breathe, you can feel that texture in the throat, right? That nice, soft texture of air. We're giving this air some life, some more dimension. And it's a gift. We're kind of bringing that friend to life who's always there for us, who we might neglect sometimes and take for granted. But now we're giving that friend a voice, a space to have our full attention. So holding that breath in the throat with some tenderness, some kindness, some love. We can also draw attention to the ears, right? To the sound of the voice, that ocean sound, making our own little metronome, our own noisemaker to calm us. And then we also have the other areas of the body we can focus on. The nasal passage, the sensation of air coming in and out. The throat. If we have Ujjayi breath, it's especially helpful. Or we can even feel the chest rise and fall. Or the belly kind of filling, falling, right? The diaphragm working to compress or to come up. Releasing, compressing down. Good. So from here, let's take right ear over to the right shoulder. Good. And then take right hand on top of the head. Keep the shoulders down, nice long neck, ribs are firm. Good. And we're adding that weight to the head. We're not pulling and yanking it down. We're just a nice weight here. Good. And then from here, let's just turn, just angle the crown of the head about 45 degrees forward so that you feel a stretch in that left scapular area, right? There's a connection from the neck and the collarbone region all the way to that space where the shoulder blade and the back of the ribs meet. So let's just hold here when you feel that little stretch, that little pull, and then let's rock it side and angled forward. Just gentle rocking. Again, just that hand's almost just dead on top of your head. Good. Just a little added weight. Good. Slowly loosening up the muscles. And release the hand. Let's roll the head. Go over to the left side again. Shoulders down. They're going to want to hunch up. So shoulders down, tall, tall spine. Let's take hand on top of the head and gently add that weight and rock it side to side. Good. Just finding that corner first, right, where you feel the tension kind of pull the shoulder blade up. And that's the sweet spot. That's where we want to either hold or just add the rock side to side. Good. So when we hold, it's nice because the muscle fibers can gently release. But when we rock, it just kind of adds some of that movement, some of that, touch and go that helps the muscles take it a little more slowly. Excellent. And let's release. Let's get the sides of our bodies now after a little shoulder roll. Yeah, that feels good. So shoulders are just going in big circles, and you might hear some crunching, right? It's kind of like those knots in our back. We're using our own scapula, our own bone to kind of massage us out. Creepy if you think about it. Don't think about it too hard. It feels good. Good. And let's release the shoulders down. And then lean over to one side. Reach all the way up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Keep the sit bones rooted. Inhale. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, Ujjayi breath. Exhale it over. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Let's take one more so we're even. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale from here. Option to keep the legs crossed, or if you have a little more open hips or want a deeper hip opener, we're going to go into double pigeon. So either stay here, or double pigeon is when you take one shin parallel to the top of the mat or wherever you are, so it's just right, a straight line in front of you. And then you can take that right leg and place it right on top. So you're trying, the goal is to get them stacked one on top of another, the shins. And that right ankle can either be on top of the thigh if you want a deeper stretch because you're hyper flexible. Hello. You can also go over past the left knee. I'm just going to hold here. I'm not that warmed up. Find that tall spine. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge forward. We're hinging over the hips. Straight spine. Reach, 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 reach. Once you can't keep that spine straight anymore, you kind of hit that limit. Let's roll and fold forward, stretching and opening up both hips, right and left, right specifically. And you want that right foot as flexed as possible, right? We're protecting the right knee by activating the muscles that surround that kneecap. So when we flex the foot, our calves are engaged, we get a little bit of that thigh engagement, so hold that and breathe. Stay with that Ujjayi breath. Imagining those waves of breath washing over the tight spaces in the muscles, smoothing out the roughness, much in the same way that the ocean might wave after wave turn rocks into pebbles, into sand, slowly with patience. And let's roll back up. And let's switch, so other side. So either switch the crossing of the legs, or right foot comes down first, left foot, flex, 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 goes right on top, trying to create a parallel line here. And also, forgot to mention, if maybe it's a little too much for you, you can also use, if you have this, if you don't, I have a block, right? But you can also use a pillow, and you can place it under that left knee and get a little more support here so that you're not kind of like too tight. So options, inhale and just fold, hinging, remember, straight back and then curling. Good. So we're going to hold here and just breathe, really drawing attention to the tight areas, to that hip. I like to think of this mind-body connection almost like a traffic cop, right? Our body knows where the oxygen needs to go. It's a very intuitive being, but Sometimes if the mind helps and kind of guides it, it's just that traffic cop. Sometimes we may think, you're useless, we can all just take turns, but hey, sometimes he saves some situations, he just makes things easier, makes us feel safe, so draw attention there, breathe. Good. Reach all the way over. And let's sit ourselves back up. And then reach both feet forward. Good. So I guess I'll go on the side here. No, it doesn't matter. Good. Feet are flexed. We're going to get our hamstrings and calves now. Inhale, tall spine. Again, you want the back to be completely flat here. So something like a pillow or a blanket would help, because sometimes people, maybe you have tight hips, so the hips are squishing here. When you sit on this, it gives us that little extra height, little extra space here. Good. So from here, flex the feet. Inhale, reach up. Hinge at the hips, tall, 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 tall. And then once you can't be straight anymore, roll it down. Good. So keep those feet flexing back. We're maximizing the distance from each joint to joint, heel to knee, knee to hips, right? So with those flexed feet, helps us get our deepest stretch. And then if you feel any tightness or pulling in the low back, please bend the knees as softly or as much as you need. There's no shame in that, especially when you're home. So we have little discs in between the vertebrae. We don't want to squeeze them too hard, right? We like to twist, we like to give them a little wake up, but if you push yourself here and you don't have the right flexibility, you can really damage your back. So allow that soft bend. I do that too. So obviously, no shame, no indication of flexibility in certain areas. We all have different bodies. And then roll our way back up. Good. From here, bend that left knee in. Take the left arm behind you. Reach right arm all the way up. Find that tall, tall spine. And exhale, twist. So what we're doing is taking that right elbow over the left knee. Use that left hip to really push the mat away. Find that tall spine. And then even turn the head to look over the left shoulder. Keep the Ujjayi breath. I'm going to keep reminding you, because I know it took me like 2 years for me to finally do it regularly. Good, smooth breath. And in these twists, it's so cool. You can inhale, get a little taller in the spine, more disc space between those vertebrae. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Good, so this twisting just helps us enhance our mobility in the spine. And it just helps us give those organs a squeeze, right? Like little sponges in there, squeezing out the old blood. Good. And then release the head, then the rest of the body. Ooh, so let's get the other side. Right knee comes in. Remember, find that tall spine. Right hand comes behind you. Inhale, left arm reaches high. And then exhale, twist. Good. And I'm just gonna rotate around. Good, tall spine. Look over that right shoulder. Each inhale grows you taller. Each exhale twists you deeper. Good. Keep that sternum pulling forward. That helps us twist at the middle of the back, the thoracic spine, instead of in the lumbar area where, again, it's a little tighter. And then maybe add a gentle tuck of that chin. Nice long space for the brainstem. And let's unwind the head. Then the rest of the body. From here, let's get on our backs. So all the way in our backs, knees in the chest, let's rock side to side. And maybe place the hands down by the hips and rotate the knees in a circle, letting the low back lift off when the knees over the hips. So we're massaging out those glutes. Feels really good. Switching directions, whatever you need here, feels so good. We're also lubricating that sacroiliac joint, so these movements in the joints, it helps activate our synovial fluid, getting some of that lubricant. Good. And then let's grab the outer edges of the feet. Happy baby. Good. So happy baby. People sometimes are here, here, here. It's a weird position, right? It's kind of vulnerable and we're all awkward in it. So just pretend you're sumo squatting on the ceiling, soles of the feet up, knees wide, ankles over the knees. And then if you can't reach the feet, grab the ankles or grab behind the knees. So whatever works for your body today. And then that tailbone's going to want to lift up, push it down. Good. So almost like you're trying to lift that low back just like a little centimeter. Good. We're getting our biggest stretch here with the feet pushing up and the hands contrasting and pulling down. Good. So we've got that nice resistance here, smooth breaths. And let's get a little core work, a little more work in our joints. Inhale. Release the left side long of the mat. Foot forward, arm back, big stretch. Exhale, squeezing the air out of the belly. Back to happy baby. Inhale. Ujjayi breath. Ocean exhale. Inhale, left side. Exhale, back. Inhale, right side. Exhale, back. Good. Let's take one more. Full inhale. Enjoying the movement across space. Inhale, right side. Exhale it back. Good. From here, knees in the chest. Let's roll forward and backwards. Good. So we're kind of massaging out the spine. Cross at the ankles. And we're just going to roll all the way up. Boop. Seated position. Good. So from here, we're going to take the hands forward, knees back. Good. And then it's really good to wake up the spine first thing in the morning, right? So shoulders over the wrist, hips over the knees. Let's do the traditional cat-cow. So that's basically cow, inhale, drop the belly. Imagine those udders hanging down, but firm the navel up. Exhale, curl the spine. Cat pose, like a scared cat for Halloween. Inhale, or just every day because they're scary cats. And exhale, curl, spread the shoulder blades, push the mat away. Inhale. Good. Keep that belly firm so our back is protected. Exhale, push the mat away. Good. One more big inhale. Exhale, curl and hold here. Keep breathing. Stay with that Ujjayi breath. And then with the spine still curling up, the belly still pulling up, add just a wiggle side to side. As if you're just kind of elongating the right side of the body, then elongating the left side. And with the curl in the back, it helps us stretch across the low back, across the shoulders. And then take the knees wide, toes together, and child's pose. Good. So with this posture, try to connect the forehead region down onto the mat. If you can't reach, again, you can use bolsters under the forehead. You can take a blanket if your hips aren't reaching and it just kind of feels tight. You can take a blanket or a pillow or a bolster if you have that, which I actually do, but I think most people don't have it. Good, so take that nice cushion underneath you if you need, and then root the forehead down. So what that does, which I might just do right now, it helps connect us, right? Right behind there, we've got all our important glands that control our hormones, that pituitary gland, the pineal gland, further back. So really connecting to, right, they call it the seat of the soul. Rooting down, connecting as the shoulders also open up. Reach the armpits down. Good. Hearing that Ujjayi breath as you're folded in on yourself. And then take the hands over to the left side and pull the right hip away. So right hand can go on top of left hand if you want a deeper stretch, more of an anchor. I like to interlace my hands. And I anchor it down and then pull the right hip. So kind of like a rubber band, pulling from both sides, getting that maximum stretch. Full breaths, inhales, expand the space between the vertebrae, giving our intercostal muscles a bigger stretch. And then pass the hands through center, over to the left side. Left hand can clasp on top of right or just come off to the side. And then sink that left hip down and away from those fingers. And stay with the breath. It's a good practice always. And reach the hands back up. Good, let's inhale. Take any props away, cross the ankles behind you, and we're just gonna roll on back, seated position. From here, due to Alex's request, I also want to do a really cool breathing exercise to kind of level out the brain. We're going to be working right hemisphere and left hemisphere at this, just alternating, right? Kind of creating some evenness in the body and mind. So what we're going to do is take your right hand. I don't know if this is mirrored. I'm going to just do my own side, right hand. So you've got the pointer finger. I'm going to come up here. So pointer finger and middle finger are down. So you got this weird, awkward, hang loose-y kind of guy. From here, you place it on the nose. Thumb is on the right nostril. Ring finger's on the left. Good. So from here, we're just going to close left nostril. Inhale through the right. Cover and hold. Exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Close and hold. Exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Close. Exhale left. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Let's take one more. Inhale right. Close. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close. Exhale right. Good. From here, stay in that cross-legged seat. Close the eyes, soft tuck of the chin. Again, palms facing up or palms facing down. And just feel the evenness of the breath. Really hypersensitized to right nostril versus left nostril. And just the union of the two working together to bring you life, breath. Really taking just pleasure and joy in the simple act of breathing. This really just an essential tool that we all have accessible to us, that we, again, might just take for granted or not know we have. Hey, Alex, it's kind of like, it's kind of like having that, like Harry Potter having magic powers but not knowing it till he go to school and he learns how to use it. Good, so we have this magic power of the breath. Good. From here, let's take a deep inhale together. Hold at the top of the breath. Sip a little more air in. Hold, hold, hold. Exhale the mouth. Again, inhale. Hold. Sip a little more air in. Exhale. Good. Let's find our way onto our backs. And prepare for Shavasana. So feet are wide on the mat. We'll just take a little 1 minute, 2 minute Shavasana. Feet are wide. Palms are facing up. Arms are... So we're anatomically neutral, right? So we're in this position on the floor. Palms facing the ceiling, pinkies in. Feet are a little wider than the hips and the knees are rolling out. Shoulder blades together and down the back. And here, let's close the eyes, sinking them towards the back of the head. Soften that tongue away from the roof of the mouth. And just breathe here. Letting go of Ujjayi breath, letting go of any of the practice today. And instead focusing in on that pure bliss of simply being. Even feeling the breath get a little more shallow. With those eyes closed, maybe even seeing a little light shining through the eyelids. Envisioning that that light is that part of you, that light within you, kind of hovering, watching over, and observing as you absorb the benefits of your practice. Begin to deepen the breath. Full inhales, full exhales. Filling the lungs, the belly. And then start to wiggle the fingers, the toes. As you gently curl up in a ball, knees into the chest, Apanasana. And then reach the right arm up and over, rolling to the right side to rest in fetal position, using that upper right arm as a pillow. Good. From here, take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. And use the left hand to press yourself up. And come to a seated position. Place the palms together at the heart center, thumbs connecting to the sternum, fingers together, shoulder blade down the back, tall, tall spine, exactly how we started, right? Just hands together this time. Vertebrae stacking, slight tuck of the chin. Inhale, feel the chest rise. Exhale, bow the chin down even more. Just want to thank you for being my students today, for your dedication to your own health, your own happiness. It really is a gift to treat yourself so you can pay that goodness forward in your own life. So namaste and have a beautiful day.